Hey, here we go. It's Halloween week, the best week of the year. Welcome to the Wise Guys, the largest BYU sports live stream show in the world and the most watched collegiate sports live stream show on YouTube. We say that each week because it's really cool to say. It's fun to say.
It's really cool, and it's Halloween. That's why I wore a black shirt. What color is my pen?
Red.
Dang.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say I had an orange pen, but so
we'll call it orange.
Most of you I think know I'm colorblind by now. But I can, black is easy for me, and blue. The reason I love the Cougs so much is because blue is a color that I can see really well. But reds, oranges, greens, those like really colors. So can we all pretend like I have an orange pen?
Let's say it's orange. It's orange.
Everybody that can see colors, let's not make fun of the guy that has a disability, and let's just say this is orange. And so I have a black and orange outfit on today for Halloween week.
Fantastic.
Hey, how about this BYU football team right now?
Crazy.
And how about how much fun did you and I have last weekend where we got to do the basketball game against North Carolina on Friday night and then do the pre- and post-game shows for the football game on Saturday. And you know what? Winning is really fun.
It really is. It takes the edge off the drive, the late night, the early morning. And I'll tell you, we're not spoiled because we appreciate it. But Cougar Nation this is like the greatest time to be a BYU fan.
Yeah, it's great.
And so we just encourage everyone to just soak it in. There's no reason to hurry out of it.
That's right. And come in every Monday night. And if you're listening to this as a podcast later in the week or watching the live stream on YouTube later or on wiseguys.com later, that's all great. Just bask in it with us. Like this is Cougar Nation, and that we're all around the world, and people checking in from Vernal like they do every week, and Angler, North Carolina saying go Cougs. Alan Abbott, Camp Verde, Arizona's in the house. Hey, and Scott and Elaine Mackey, they're coming in from Drummond, Montana, and we got to see them this weekend.
Yeah, we've almost eaten all the jam that they brought us.
My Brenda took pictures of it. I was gonna have to post it later, but they made us homemade strawberry freezer jam from great strawberries up in Montana, and they brought it to us at the pregame show, and I took that home. And yesterday we had a big Halloween party, Sunday night Halloween with all the family.
Wipe it out.
Oh yeah, we wiped it out. We had rolls with that strawberry jam on it. Oh goodness! So thank you very, very much. That was a wonderful gift.
It was great to meet him. Eric from Singapore is on the stream from far, far away. Thank you. There's Wisconsin in the house, Heber City, Richfield, Utah, Dallas. Believing in Dallas, got my Arlington tickets. Okay,
love it.
Nice job. We remind you, Wise Guys is presented by BradyPlus, Eddie, and Mountain America Credit Union. We love those three groups. Wise Guys is distributed by the Deseret News, and our new podcast from this show will hit the scene tomorrow wherever you get your podcasts. And it's a bye week, so you can just listen to this show over and over and over, and we'll get you through it.
There you go. And please subscribe to our free email at wiseguys.com. You can also watch all of our past content at our website, wiseguys.com, ysguys.com. And we'd also love it if you'd hit that free subscribe button on your YouTube channel. That helps us keep the show just rolling and going to places like Sylvia in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And she says, is there anything this BYU football team can't do? Go Cougs. Love it.
Go Cougs. Matthew from Charlotte, North Carolina. Nick from Pensacola, Florida. I tell you what, the East Coast is represented here on the Wise Guys. There's Phoenix, Arizona, Boise, Idaho. Let us have it. Let us know where you're taking us in from. We'll try to give you a shout out. We have an awesome show tonight. BYU football and BYU basketball make history together. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Iowa State, we'll give you a recap on that, and we'll listen to Kalani Sitake talk about that and look forward.
BYU Hoops, North Carolina game. We'll talk about that. Mark Durant will be here and preview the team ahead of the opener next Monday night against Villanova in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it'll be fun to talk about the North Carolina game with Mark, considering there were 4 people broadcasting that game on Saturday night, 2 on TV and 2 on radio, and 3 of those 4 are going to be talking about the game with Mark in here, who did the color for the radio, and you and I who called it for television.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Keith says, I'm in Lubbock, excited for the game on the 8th, but sad about the 11 a.m. kickoff. Yeah, sorry, Keith, but if you want to be prime time on network television on a Saturday, sometimes you got to play at noon Eastern.
Yeah, and the guy, you know what I like? I like that BYU has a full 2 weeks to prepare for Texas Tech. I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything down there in Lubbock about Baron Morton and what his status is? Because Hammond, the really good backup, is out for the season with an ACL injury.
I saw a tweet today that he was good to go for Kansas State.
So Baron Morton is.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he has to. That's all they got.
Yeah, what are they going to do?
Yeah, and Kansas State's going to be ready for him. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game. And Kansas State's real physical. We'll see how that goes. But like Iowa State, who had a bye week to prepare for BYU, and you saw how Iowa State came out of the gate in that game. Now the difference is BYU is an undefeated team that's come from behind and had to win tough games, and they were able to do it. Has Texas Tech been behind in a game this year?
Well, they got beat. Who'd they get beat by? They just got beat, but they haven't been behind very much.
Got beat by Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Was it Colorado?
No, it wasn't
Colorado beat Iowa State.
Yeah.
Who beat Texas Tech?
That's a mystery right out of the gate.
But they haven't had a comeback win, right? I feel like BYU is going to be really ready to come and play hard to start that game, and then they get Texas Tech down, and BYU's too good of a football team to come back on, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. They're ranked 13th in the country, those Red Raiders, and they've
Who
been
did they lose
flying
to? I
pretty
can't even
high.
remember now.
Arizona State beat them.
That's right, ASU beat them.
26-22 on October 18th.
And that was ASU with a healthy Sam Levitt. So,
yeah.
And he hasn't been completely healthy lately.
Thanks for that help on the stream for
Yes, thank you.
ASU. All right, Dennis in from Ohio. Good to have you with us. And I saw a couple of others hop on there. There's St. George, Utah. Great to have you on the stream here tonight.
Hey, we're gonna talk about this upcoming Las Vegas affair in basketball as they go down to play Villanova, and we're gonna have Travis Brady, president of BradyPlus, one of our great sponsors, who resides in Las Vegas, to help us give a preview of what's going on down there.
Cougars are coming to his town. Women's volleyball upsets number 10 TCU on the road. Star freshman Suli Davis is going to join us tonight. So we're excited. They're at practice right now, and then she's going to join us when they're done. And she's part of this, the freshman five, as we'll call it.
Yep. And
Suli
Sulie
is phenomenal freshmen.
You know how B-Lo calls me Uncle B? Sulie is my niece too. Did you not know that?
No, you just decided that?
Well, no. So Fui Vakapuna is her uncle.
Okay.
And Fui and Kellen played together, and they were good buddies. And he used to call me Uncle Blaine. Because we were close. And so then when I met Sulie for the first time at a volleyball game, and Fui introduced her, he says, this is Blaine Fowler. He's like an uncle to me. And then I said, see, we're family.
Okay. All right.
I will be your uncle.
However that works out.
So because Fui is family, then Sulie is also family.
Okay. Also tonight, our Relight Athlete of the Week. We think it might surprise you, but then when you hear it, you go, oh, yeah. That athlete was spectacular.
Yes.
So that's coming up.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to it. Our Wise Guys show, we love our sponsors, so let's give them some props.
Yeah, let's start with BradyPlus. We already mentioned that Travis is going to be on with us today. BradyPlus provides cleaning, food service, and packaging equipment, dispensers, and service and repairs with over 150 distribution facilities across the country and over 6,000 employees. Learn more at BradyPlus.com.
By Eddie, HR and payroll software built for small businesses. Whether you run a dental office in Spanish Fork, Utah, or a construction crew in Lehigh, Eddie helps you hire, onboard, track time, and run payroll all in one place. Simple, local, reliable, built by business owners who believe people come first. See how Eddie can serve your team at Eddie.com.
And by Mountain America Credit Union, helping people achieve their financial dreams for over 80 years. Whether you're buying a home, planning for retirement, or managing daily expenses, Mountain America has the tools, the technology, and guidance to help you succeed. There's a lot of information waiting for you at macu.com.
How about on the stream? Lincoln, Nebraska, then there's Northeast Missouri, Saratoga Springs, Utah, Westlake Village, California. Awesome. I think we're like in 30 states already tonight.
Yeah, Westlake Village says
keep it going.
Been on Bear since he transferred. It's been brilliant. Absolutely, Clint. You're on the money with that one. I wish I brought a picture of that. Did I show you that picture? You got it too, I think. We were going to Latex with all of us, where the guy for Halloween was dressed up as a giant bear, and he had a 23 Ute costume dude, like dragging him around trick-or-treating. It's great.
That is good one. Richard's on the stream from Panama, says, often have to stream you later, but glad to go on today. Love the second half at Iowa State.
Yeah, Richard, what time is it in Panama right now? Hit us up and let us know what time it is down there. Always interested. Tokyo last week let us know that they're listening at 9 o'clock in the morning over in Tokyo, which is cool. Yeah. Philippines, I think, said same, 9 o'clock. And And so interested to what time it is of day in Panama, Richard.
Our Relight Athlete of the Week is presented by Redmond. The secret is in the salt. Learn what it can do for you at redmond.com.
And Wise Guys is distributed by the Deseret News and Deseret.com, Utah's newspaper since 1850. I think about this sometimes when we leave the show, and Cougar Nation is all over the world. Mm-hmm. And I love it when we get together on Monday nights and we start reading out where people are from. Where else and what other university in the country are people tuning in from whatever time it is in Panama and over in Tokyo just to listen and to chat with their fellow fans from all over the globe? It really is unique and it really is marvelous.
It's the magic of this show, and we love showing that off. Aaron in from Mesa, Arizona in the house. Good to have you on the stream here tonight. Let's get to the good stuff. How about this? For the first time, BYU football and men's basketball are both ranked in the top 10 of the AP poll at the same time. Football is number 10. Basketball is number 8. BYU is also the only team currently in the country to have a football and basketball program in the top 10. That's where we are. We're just in the top 10 and going places.
Think about it. What schools even have a possibility to do that? Now, Florida in the past has been really good in basketball and really good in football at times.
A few years back,
right?
Yeah.
Right, but they haven't been as good in football recently. But I'm just trying to think of programs that even have a possibility to do that.
Ohio State, no, they're not good in basketball.
Yeah, they haven't been a top 10 team. They've been good, but not recently have they been a top 10 team. There's just, if you think about that combination.
Alabama was good in basketball.
Alabama is
football.
one. That's one of the ones that I thought of. Florida a few years ago. I thought about Alabama as a potential because they're really good. Sweet 16, Elite 8 team last year. And a very good football team. Not quite as good as they've been in football, not quite as dominating. But I'm telling you, the list of even possible programs is really, really small. So that's such a cool thing and such a unique thing.
It's going to go on all week. And then BYU's got to buy, and so the next poll is going to have the same thing, if not higher.
And the BYU takes care of business in Vegas, which they should.
We expect them to do.
Expect them to beat Villanova. Villanova is not like the Villanova a few years ago that was nationally ranked. This is a Villanova that hasn't been to the tournament for 3 years.
Yeah, I mean they go from 8 to 6, maybe 5.
So you could. Yeah, this could be this could last at least 2 weeks, and then who knows how long.
So let's make the most of every second.
Let's really, really enjoy this.
And we're going to talk about it. Brad in from Jacksonville, Florida on the stream. Michael's from Beaumont, Texas, as we span the globe here on the Wise Guys. Yeah, Robert, Michigan used to be.
Thanks, Jeff, for letting us know it's 6:11 p.m. in Lehi, Utah. That's good to know.
Thanks, Jeff. Just in case we go down the street, we'd like to know that we're going to be close. Cougars defeat Iowa State 41-27 to improve to 8-0. There was a slow start. There was a corrected middle. And then there was a strong finish. And the national rankings, I mentioned, tied for 10 with Miami in the AP. They're 10 alone in the coaches poll. And then the college football playoff rankings, which come out November 4th. ESPN will probably have another preview show tomorrow. Yeah. And they've been using the AP as their guide. And that would certainly have BYU in the mix of 12 to get I've seen them playing Ole Miss, and I saw one today, one projected them playing Notre Dame in the first round.
Yeah, the one that had Ole Miss, I liked that pathway. I liked their pathway to the Final Four with that one. So we'll see how it goes. You know what the key is? They just keep winning, and good things will happen. So national rankings, you mentioned the AP tied for 10th with Miami. Right. Coaches poll 10th. The college football playoff ranking. What do you think they're going to be? I think they're going to be 10th.
10 or 11.
Yeah, I think they'll be 10th, just like they are.
And you know what? That's probably where they should be. And then they have an opportunity. If you win at Texas Tech, you deserve to be better.
Yeah.
And then you keep winning. You got Cincinnati. At Cincinnati, you win that game, and you should be jumping in the top 6. But it's one at a time for them. We can talk about all kinds of stuff. But for those guys, the team, it's get rested, get healthy, and then it's just Texas Tech.
Yeah, I know I asked you this last week, but do you want – if fans out there around the world, do you want Utah to beat Cincinnati?
I already told you know how I feel about that. I'll be cheering.
I asked this
kind of the question. Bearcats.
People are so conflicted. So you'd rather just say, you know what, BYU, it's on you. You got to go beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, you know.
Because if Utah beats Cincinnati, that causes a problem for Cincinnati and gives BYU a leg up. And Utah has no chance at this point to catch BYU, right?
I think They got 2 losses.
Right.
I mean, some things would have to happen.
BYU would have to have 3 losses for them to beat BYU.
What about a Utah-BYU rematch in the Big 12 championship game?
That would be.
But I don't think the Utes are going to beat Cincinnati, so we'll just see. We'll see what happens. That's a big game for them.
They should get Dampier back. It sounds like, but
we'll see. Maybe they don't want him back. Maybe they want the other guy.
Everybody was telling me, how did they kill Colorado? And like, I sent you guys a text last night with reminding everybody of Colorado's injury report going into that game. Like, I've never seen anything like it. And did you notice that
it was like half the team?
Dion didn't even act like he wasn't even getting mad at guys, because I think he was just thinking, what do you do?
They're all hurt.
Guys, 5 offensive linemen out and 6 defensive linemen out. And it's like, man, Colorado couldn't hold the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball. Yeah, no kidding. I don't care what team you are in this league, whether you're Texas Tech, BYU, Utah, you have 5 offensive linemen out and 6 defensive linemen out, you're not holding the line of scrimmage.
No. And they didn't. Howard's on the stream from Sapporo, Japan. Howard, good to have you with us.
And we're assuming it's 9 a.m. in Sapporo, right?
Yeah, we're just going to assume that. Yeah. The BYU Texas Tech TV details were announced today. We thought maybe they would be held back for a 6-day hold, like sometimes the networks like to do, but they came right out. They go, yeah, we know that game's in 2 weeks, but it'll be BYU Sports Nation game day. Will start at 8 a.m. on November 8th. That's a Saturday on BYU TV and ESPN Plus. The Cougars and Texas Tech, 10 a.m. Mountain Time on ABC or ESPN. It's ABC if Texas Tech beats K-State on Saturday. It's ESPN if they don't. And that's at noon Eastern. So folks on the East Coast, hey, this is for you. You spend plenty of 10:15 Easterns. You get one at high noon. And for out here, boy, we're going to have to show up on that pregame show in the middle of the night. And then the postgame shows on BYU TV app and ESPN Plus. The good side is, for us, is that frees us up to call the BYU Holy Cross basketball game later that night on ESPN Plus.
No, interesting. Normally, and folks don't know this, but we have to be at the pregame show 3 hours before it airs. We do some production stuff. We go through things. We
have lunch.
We do. There's a bunch of pre-stuff that has to be done that takes about 3 hours before the game. Please tell me we don't have to be there at 5 a.m.
There's no chance half our crew's going to show up.
No, like I say, we're going to have to say we're going to be really efficient and really good and get there at 6. So you and I are going to be there at 6 in the morning. We'll do the show. We'll do the post-game show. Then we'll get a little break.
Yeah.
And then we'll go call the Holy Cross game.
Yeah, and we want to do that because we want to call.
Yeah, and so we want everybody in the Marriott Center to know we need you to be there, and we need you to be loud, and because Dave and I will need more energy than the team will need for that Holy Cross game. Yeah,
we will. David's in from Oregon, Lake Oswego, Oregon. Good to have you here as we go from the East Coast out to the West Coast. And we build our stream audience. All right, let's talk about what we liked from the Iowa State game. We've already heard some of your comments or seen some of your comments on the stream. Feel free to flood those at us, but we've got our own list of what we liked in that win at Iowa State. And I think you have to start with the quarterback. Bear had 356 total yards and 3 total touchdowns.
Very, very impressive. He just keeps getting better. And when LJ went out, he had to be the guy that carried the team. Now it was on his back. It's been on LJ and the offensive line's back. And in this game, it was okay, offensive line, you got to pick it up, which they did. And this is on Bear's back to help with the run game and to throw the football down the field. And I love the way Chase and Parker played. You know, his 2 wide receivers showed up big too. And Carson Ryan had a couple of crazy great catches. So yeah, Bear was. He was a beast. He was a beast.
Parker had 7 catches for 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chase Roberts had 8 for 128, and he had a couple of those were NFL grabs.
My goodness,
they were behind him. He got that one on the first down where they took his head off. Mm-hmm. We'll show all those to you on AFR, by the way, tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
There were a couple other plays we really liked. Kevin Doe blocking the Iowa State player into the ball on Sam Vanderhaar's punt at the end of the third quarter. That was huge. Yeah. Game was tied when that happened.
And you know what I love? And we're going to show that one on AFR and talk to it. They scouted that in their scouting report during the week. They told the guys if the ball is short or bouncing, their guys don't pay attention, block them into the ball. Like that wasn't hey, look at the balls right there. What if I did this? That was practiced. That was scouted. And Don't you love that they were prepared and that he was prepared to make that play, and then he had the presence to go, oh, this is what we talked about. Let's do this.
Yeah, it was great.
It was
huge.
Needed.
They went and scored a touchdown.
Game-changing.
Turned into being the game-winning touchdown off that mistake. And Iowa State had all the momentum.
Yeah.
And that's how you give it back. Cougars forced 4 turnovers. We like that.
Yeah, we loved Faletau Satuala's pick 6.
Yep.
He was also named the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week. This is back-to-back BYU safeties. Last week it was Tanner Wall. This week it was Satuala. And by the way, Tanner played great again, too. He had 9 tackles in this game and was really, really assignment sound in this one.
We liked the 31-3 finish after trailing 24-10.
Very impressive.
On the road. And we also love the way this team fights. And it would be great if they just came out and pounded everyone right at the start. Yeah. But that's not the nature of sports. But what we do love in sports is when something doesn't go quite right, it doesn't end you. Right? Knocks you back. I wrote about it in the Deseret News over the weekend. They've kind of taken on this prize fighter persona of, I might take a few punches, I might lose a few early rounds, but when the fight's over, I'll be the one still standing.
Yeah.
And they're 8-0. They've been standing through 8, and they haven't all been perfect. They're not all going to be perfect, but what you can do perfectly is not give up.
Right. And they never doubt themselves. And if you're going to be that type of a fighter, you can never let doubt creep into your mind. And so they don't. They just go, no, you can give us everything you have. You will not knock us out. And we'll hang in there. And then eventually we're going to wear you down, and we're going to beat you in the end. And in this one, it was interesting because Iowa State, remember, they had the bye week. They came in, and, man, were they fired up to start the game. And BYU, I don't know whether it was they were too fired up, or what we're finding out now is that the linebacking core was really beat up. Like this bye week this week is unbelievably timely for BYU. Like it's so important for both Jack and for Isaiah to have a little bit of rest and Ciale to get healthy this week. It's going to be very, very important for them to be fresh. And then BYU is going to be the team coming off of a bye week that feels fresh, with fresh legs and fired up because they got a 2-week game plan that they've worked on. But it always is interesting. And I never know until I go back and watch the film. When we were watching Iowa State run the football, because you could say, man, what I didn't like the way Iowa State just ran it and gashed BYU early in the game. And then we were talking about it while we were watching it together to get ready to do the post game with you and I and the gang. And we were going, man, I don't know if they're getting manhandled up front or if guys are just out of their gaps. I have a feeling it's more of the second than the first. But then you go back and watch the film, and Nixon and I had a really good chance to get ready for the show tomorrow. And guess what? They didn't get manhandled at the line of scrimmage. The defensive line, believe it or not, actually played quite well yesterday. Linebackers really struggled. And they struggled to get in there. You hear us talk about run fits all the time. Everybody's responsible for a gap. Multiple times in that game, BYU's linebackers either scraped too far and ran past their gap. And when you have great running backs, and Iowa State has 2 really good backs. Remember, they got Hansen back and Sama. If you overrun a gap, they put their foot in the ground and they hit the gap and they're gone. They're in the secondary. That's how that first 35-yard touchdown was, and we'll show it to you. And everybody's like, what adjustments did BYU make? Like, how did they hold that team to 3 points while BYU scoring 31 for basically 2.5 quarters? Like, what did they do? What changed? What schematically did they do differently?
They lined up right.
Yeah. The coach said, there are no changes. Get in your freaking gap assignment, and you need to fight. You need to actually play hard. Like, play hard and get where you're supposed to be. That was the adjustment, which is interesting, isn't it? Sometimes it's, wow, they're doing something we've never seen. We need to do this. We need to change that. We need to, this time it was quit thinking so much and get where you're supposed to be. And when you are where you're supposed to be, you need to win your one-on-ones and go make plays.
Yeah.
And guess what? They did.
Well, they had their way. Iowa State had their way with BYU right up until they didn't.
Yeah.
And they were close to knocking them out before that Logan Latui interception.
Yeah, I'll add one other thing I was really impressed with now that I've watched the film. BYU's offensive line, Dave, is really good.
Yeah.
They continue to go against defensive lines that are supposed to be really good and just beat them up. And they ran the ball and protected Bear Bachmeier in the throw game. And as I watched the film, they were knocking people off the ball just like we've been watching them do every week. We'll show you on AFR that tomorrow as well. Offensive line played well. That is one of the reasons Bears having so much success this year is because the offensive line, I think, is better than any of us thought they were going to be. So, and the BYU defense produced 4 sacks against the number 1 rated offensive line in the Big 12 right now is Utah, 3 sacks. The number 2 offensive line in the Big 12 is Iowa State, 4 sacks. So BYU's D-line's not so shabby either. Even
Michael Wilbon on ESPN show talked about, hey, keep your eye on BYU.
Yeah.
And I think folks are going to start keeping their eye on BYU. How about some rare air for Bear? 4 quarterbacks to start 8-0 as a true freshman. Jalen Hurts of Alabama, Jake Fromm of Georgia, Trevor Lawrence of Clemson, and Bear Bachmeier of BYU. Now, 2 of those guys are currently heading up teams in the NFL. One just won the Super Bowl, and I think all 3 of them won national titles. And then here comes Bear Bachmeier.
Yeah, and all 3 of those, I think, in their freshman year played in the national title game. I think either 1 or 2 won, and the other one lost.
So,
and then didn't Hank? I know this isn't in Power 4 football, right? But didn't Bear's older brother Hank start?
Yeah, and he started 8-0.
It was G5, so he started 8-0 as well, which is really cool that Hank's sitting in the stands watching his little brother do what he did. Yeah. And remember, Boise State was really good that year.
Now I think he can move past him if he can beat Texas Tech.
Pretty cool.
So that should be something. What we didn't like in that Iowa State game is the injury to L.J. Martin, the injury to Siale Acera, and the fact that Iowa State jumped ahead 17-7 and had the ball driving to what we thought was going to be another touchdown the way it was going. But then the game turned. What do we know about L.J. and what do we know about Siale? We're not hearing the worst news. You know, with LJ, it's kind of a wait and see, and Ciale, we hear, will be, he kind of had a stinger in the arm and should be back.
I think Ciale should be fine. And LJ, it wasn't serious enough that they could immediately diagnose it, right? So it wasn't, oh, goodness, your shoulder came out, you're out. It was, oh, you know what? We need to get an MRI and just make sure that there's nothing wrong in there, that we're not seeing something or... So his was a wait and see, and I think he had the MRI today, but we haven't heard. But so we don't know. We don't know about LJ. But I'll tell you, what a week to have 2 weeks to get ready.
This is
what
the
a
week
time to have 2 weeks to get ready, right? So
yeah, and they'll need him. And if they know they're not going to have him, they'll have some time to prep outside of. Hey, he's hurt. He's out.
Yeah, I think they'll know like tomorrow or the next day whether they're going to have him or not. And then if they don't, then you become the team that BYU was for the last 3 quarters. Where the throw game is the extension of the run game. Bear is there. Rex catches the ball out of the backfield. The receivers have to step up. And by the way, there's a really good chance they get JoJo Phillips back for this game.
Yeah.
So just add another big-time weapon to the outside.
Kalani addressed the media. It's a bye week, so only Kalani took the microphone today to kind of set the tone for what BYU has to work on this week and the next week on the heels of last week. Let's take a moment and listen to the head coach for a second.
Got to still develop our team and our program in all 3 phases, so we still have a lot of work to do. I still feel like we can play better as a football team, but after watching the film, Iowa State's a really good team, and I'm glad our guys were able to respond to some adversity. It seems like that's what we've been able to do quite a bit, so I feel comfortable with them doing that. My job is so we're not doing that all the time, but if we need it, we know we can play and come back from behind and figure some things out. Really impressed with the effort our guys gave, and just a really good game for what we saw on film. We'll build off of it and make sure that we're ready for the next one. And looking forward to this bye week and getting an early start on Texas Tech, and then making a strong push for these last 4 games that. We knew going into the season that we would be in this position and how to utilize this week, and I think everything's going really to what we planned and how it would look from our analytics that we're getting, from the data that we're getting from our players. And so we'll just put it all together and see what happens this week and get ourselves ready for some trick-or-treating on Friday.
Kalani Sitake, all business today. Didn't have a lot to say about those injuries that we talked about a few moments ago, but he knows how important this bye week is. And the fact that Halloween's on Friday and they're not on a road trip in a hotel, and that's fun for the families and everything. And we love Halloween week anyway. So this is a good time to be off. I think you can hear it in his voice. Let's look at your 3 keys to victory that you rolled out last week as to how to go in there and beat Iowa State for the very first time in program history.
Right. And we started with no big plays over the top, so get lined up on defense. And then the very first play, BYU runs a corner blitz Faletau Satuala is coming over to replace the corner. He takes a bad angle, gets beat on a hitch and go, and they go 75 yards for a touchdown. So that has to be a minus, except for.
They locked down after that.
Yeah,
at least on those.
Oh,
on
no, that was the one play.
And there was the one big run that Trey Alexander tackled.
Right, and then they got back-to-back negative plays, and they had to settle for a field goal. So I'm going to wipe that one off because of Trey's play. Trey's play, and we're going to talk about it on AFR tomorrow, Dave. Those are the unsung plays where guys, you talk about they just don't give up, they continue to fight.
Yeah.
When a gap is wrong and somebody takes off and Trey runs him down, coming from he was running parallel to the line of scrimmage. That guy was going full speed downfield. Trey put his foot in the ground, turned, made up 10 yards over 40 yards. That's like the difference between running a 4 flat and a 5 like he ran that guy down and made the play and then held him to a field goal. That's another play that made a difference in this game. So I'm gonna erase that one.
Okay.
And then do I erase the long one because Faletau went and had a pick six? Does that just cancel it out and I just call that a wash?
You could because we're 8-0.
Okay, I'm gonna call it a wash. That one's a wash.
That's a wash.
Okay. What was my next one?
Win the turnover margin 4-0.
Yeah, they killed. That gives them like 2 games worth. So.
And then control both lines of scrimmage.
Coming out of the game, I didn't think they controlled the line of scrimmage on defense, but I felt they did on offense. And now I actually feel really good about what they did on the defensive line. Linebackers are part of controlling the line of scrimmage because their run fits are really important for them to get into their gaps. So I'm gonna call that one. Gosh, that's hard. Offense absolutely controlled the line of scrimmage, and defense for 3 quarters controlled it. So I'll give him a small check.
A small check.
Okay,
there you go. Blaine's 3 keys to victory. Some other Big 12 games, and Mark Durant's going to join us in just a couple of minutes. What did we learn from Cincinnati beating Baylor 41-20?
It surprised me how easily they beat Baylor 41-20 with a veteran quarterback and a lot of speed that Baylor has and Sawyer Robertson. Cincinnati's quarterback's playing great, and they are. I think they're one of the 3 most physical teams in the league, and so they're playing great.
And Baylor, you know what? They're supposed to be better than they are. They're just not.
Yeah, they're just not.
Texas Tech routed Oklahoma State 42-0.
We learned nothing from that.
Yeah, that was going to happen.
Oklahoma State is so bad. Yeah. How can a team get that bad that fast?
They were picked to win the league last year.
Yeah.
Houston stunned Arizona State 24-16 in Tempe, and Sam Leavitt did play in that game. Houston is another of the surprise teams in the league.
Yeah.
And they didn't just beat Arizona State on a flea flicker at the end. They beat them the whole game.
Yep.
They're
solid.
Houston's for real. They have a favorable schedule. Levitt could get to Arlington.
Yeah, and it was interesting. As I watched Sam Leavitt in that game, he wasn't the same Sam Leavitt. Sam Leavitt has kind of replaced some of that run game that they had with Scadaboo last year, and he wasn't running around like he normally does. So he was a little bit disabled.
It's that time of year, right?
Yeah. But the other thing we learned is Scadaboo was ridiculously good last year. Mm-hmm. Arizona State was as good as they are. And Scadaboo's ridiculously good right now in the NFL. He just runs over people. We knew he was good last year, but we didn't realize that he was not just a lot, the most important player to Arizona State's success last year by a mile.
Yeah.
So
Kansas State beat Kansas in Lawrence 42-17. Kansas State has started to figure it out. They're playing like maybe we thought they were going to play in August. And they host Texas Tech on Saturday. So that is the game I'll be watching.
You know who's good that you don't have to play this year for BYU?
Kansas State.
Yeah, because they're figuring it out.
Utah beat Colorado. TCU beat West Virginia 23-17. Yeah. The Big 12 standings, BYU and Cincinnati are tied at 5-0. Texas Tech and Houston are next at 4-1. Arizona State, Kansas State, TCU, and Utah are then 3-2.
That's why, this game, Texas Tech and this week at Kansas State is a big game. With Kansas State, that's not out of the question that Kansas State could slow them down. Be interested to see if Baron Morton really is back and how he plays. But for BYU, just think about how important that if they beat Texas Tech in 2 weeks, talk about an inside track to the Big 12 Conference Championship game.
Right.
It's going to be really hard for any of those guys to to catch you. You literally could lose 2 of the last 3 and likely still get in at that point.
So this week, in addition to that game, Arizona State's at Iowa State. That's another interesting one. Cincinnati's at Utah, another interesting one. Certainly for BYU, keeping an eye on the Bearcats. UCF's at Baylor, West Virginia's at Houston, and Oklahoma State is at Kansas. That's always good news. That's good news for Kansas.
Yeah, wherever Oklahoma State is good news for anybody.
Take the
this
week
year.
off.
Yeah.
Here's BYU's remaining schedule.
Yeah, first they play at Texas Tech, number 13, right? Which is going to be a great matchup. Regardless of what happens with Texas Tech this week, that's going to be a great matchup. On November 15th, they've got TCU coming to LaVell Edwards Stadium. TCU's got a ton of athletes. I just can't see TCU beating BYU at home.
No, I don't either. BYU will have to play good. In the Big 12, you could lose any game.
Yeah, because if you don't play well or you turn the ball over, you got problems.
Yeah.
And then November 22nd, it's off to Cincinnati. Cool stadium back there, really traditional. And they are playing as well as anybody right now.
That could be a preview of the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah. When Mark Durant comes on, I'm going to ask him if he's rooting for Cincinnati or Utah this week.
I know who he's rooting for, where he served his mission.
In Cincinnati?
In Ohio, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know.
Then he has a legit reason.
He's not crossing over.
You just hate. You just hate.
I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, and
along with the rest of the live stream.
I know. People are saying no. I cannot root for them. So yeah, and Robert, we know that Scad was done for the season with the Giants, which they were talking about on the game the other day. They're just like, the Giants aren't the same without Scadaboo.
UCF is the season finale at LaVell Edwards Stadium on November 29th.
I can't see them coming from Florida in possible cold weather at elevation.
No.
In LES.
I hope they still come out, because we're going to be there. I
Yeah,
hope they come
we'll
out.
be there.
They might look at the weather and go, we're out. We're not going to do that.
These 2 home games, I really, really like BYU in these home games, and then the 2 away games are brutal.
So that's what's left for BYU football here in what will be a phenomenal month of November. The Relight Athlete of the Week is presented by Redmond. The secret is in the salt. Learn what it can do for you at redmond.com. Tonight, it is our pleasure to announce Kebe Keita as this week's honoree. Tell them what Kebe did.
Well, during that 78-76 victory against number 25 North Carolina in the exhibition game on Friday at the Delta Center, you and I got to call it. Mark got to call it for ESPN Plus and Mark for KSL Radio and BYU Radio. He went 6 of 10 from the field, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. I'm giving him the award for that alone. After watching him last year.
That's up from like 48% last year.
He finished with 16 points. His 10th and final rebound of the game came on the final play after Seth Trimble's layup in the final seconds that he blocked.
Yeah.
Right? So he altered the shot. He also had 2 steals with that block, 1 foul in nearly 25 minutes of action. And you think about North Carolina, that team, there were times they had 3 6'10" guys on the floor, right? He really was a presence in the middle. So the 6'8" senior from Mali, he averaged 7 points and 7 boards last year during BYU's run to the Sweet 16. He'll have an even bigger role this year. If he continues to play like that, wow.
Yeah.
He's a very complimentary piece to all this talent that BYU has on the team.
With so much attention going to A.J. DeBonsa, Richie Saunders, and Rob Wright, the X factor on the team could very well be Kebe Keita. He is our Relight Athlete of the Week, presented by Redmond. The secret is in the salt. Learn what it can do for you at redmond.com, and you can see our Wise Guys interview with the man who brought him to America to play basketball and get a college education so that he can go home and change the community that he's come from and greatly influence the folks around him. Carlos Iglesias. You can see that at wiseguys.com.
Yep. It's a fun one.
That was a good one. BYU basketball, they beat North Carolina in that exhibition game 78-76. It was a showdown of freshman lottery picks. That's what made it fun to watch.
It was so fun. AJ had, we just call him AJ now. Everybody knows what we're talking about. He's freshman, and we just call him AJ. And everybody knows what. I don't have to say anything. I don't have to say DeBonsa. 18 points, 8 boards, 3 blocks, and 3 steals. Then, of course, Caleb Wilson, man, he looked great, too, for North Carolina. He looked like everything advertised. 22 points, 10 boards, and 3 blocks. Richie Saunders had 14 points, kind of quiet 14 for Richie. Didn't find his normal marksman role.
No.
The ball just wasn't falling from deep. And then Rob Wright had 12 points. Rob Wright, I thought, was everything as advertised. His ability to stop and start and change direction. Like nobody could stay in front of him on the floor. He's going to be really, really fun to watch this year.
Up next is Villanova Monday at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. A 7:30 start Mountain Time. Might be a little later than that because it's game 2 of a doubleheader, but it's on TNT. Wise Guys airs at its regular time next week. We'll take you up to tip-off, and Blaine will be over on BYU TV doing the pregame show over there. But it's going to be an awesome Monday for opening night. Our first guest tonight is nearing 3 decades behind the mic as the radio analyst for BYU basketball on BYU Radio, former player himself. He calls it like he sees it, which is why we love to have him on this show. Happy to welcome Mark Durant back to the Wise Guys for another season. Can you believe we're back?
I can't, but it's exciting, and I always just like seeing you guys. I mean, I love you guys. You're awesome.
Yeah, we love you too, brother. What do you think of our choice of Kebe Keita for the Relight Athlete of the Week for us?
I'm probably the head of Kebe's fan club. I just think, there's a lot of guys that are good players, but you want to be a player that when you're not on the floor, you can tell. Yeah. They're a different team. They're still good, but Kebe makes a real difference. And you talk about his athleticism, his ability to block shots. He'll get 2, 3, 4 blocks a game. He'll also alter 4 or 5 shots or hurry 4 or 5 shots just because he's around somewhere and you don't want to be getting your shot blocked. So, yeah, I mean, Kebe does things I've never seen an athlete of BYU do, basketball player, and it's just super fun. Seems like he's just a great guy, too. And anyway, yeah, I totally wholeheartedly agree with that. And
he had a night on the stream. My nephew Jason's on the stream from Eagle Mountain, taking us in. Welcome to the Wise Guys, as well as a couple more Floridians on the show. We're all over the world tonight listening to Mark Durant.
Mark, we got where do we have for Mark tonight? We've got
a couple in Singapore, Japan, and,
Panama.
And,
so you're global.
all for me.
You're global tonight.
You're global. Normally tonight. They wouldn't listen, but because I'm on.
That's why.
So you're on the radio call Friday night, right next to us as we were doing the TV call. You've had a few days to think about this exhibition game. How did you think it went against North Carolina?
It's crazy, Dave, that we're in this world. It's like crazy world. When I played some 30-odd years ago, we were lucky to get athletes in action for a preview game,
That's true.
And now we're got North Carolina in the Delta Center, and I know it's an exhibition, but I don't tell either one of those teams the other night that it was exhibition. You could tell it was a serious game and a great environment. And to play against a blue blood like North Carolina and see, you'd mentioned, obviously AJ and Caleb and so many good players. I mean, I remember thinking you almost have as many NBA players on this floor as you would on a regular night for the Jazz. There's going to be that many NBA players from these 2 college teams. And so, yeah, it was great, and I think, it's an exhibition, but it's great to get the win, to give you some confidence, and also just the way these 2 exhibition games have gone, I think will be very helpful for BYU because they were both intense, great competition, and competitive to the last shot. And BYU is going to have a lot of those types of games, and so to have that experience before you are thrown into that environment, I think is going to be very beneficial.
Hey, Thomas, by the way, says head of the Mark Durant fan club in Maryland.
Oh, nice.
So thanks, Thomas.
Wow.
He's the head of your club there. I don't know if you knew you had one there.
There's a strong chapter out there.
Yeah, and in Tokyo, they have the international chapters in Tokyo, and they'll be piping in. You mentioned, like, when you played exhibitions or scrimmages, first of all, you would do scrimmages, and they were, like, double secret, like nobody knew about it. Even a couple years ago, I remember they scrimmaged over at Stanford, and everybody said, well, and there's secret scrimmage in Stanford, but we weren't allowed to talk about it, right? Do you like this idea that they're playing these exhibition games in an arena on national television, and do you wish you could have had that to warm up before it actually counted?
Yeah, I think it would have been helpful to get that experience. I don't know if I like it or not because it changes kind of the purpose of it. coaches have more freedom because it doesn't count, but they want to win. And part of the reason you want to have a secret scrimmage is just different chemistry, different guys don't have to play AJ for 30 minutes. And
no fan judgment.
No fan judgment. And just kind of trying to still figure things out before you get there. But overall, I think it's probably for the best, just because of the reasons I've already mentioned, to have that caliber of competition in a game like, not game like, but intensity, pressure like situation, I think is helpful.
When you see AJ in a BYU jersey, do you do a double take? Can you believe that a player of that caliber is here?
Yeah, because it's like looking in the mirror back from when I was a
That's
player.
exactly what I was thinking.
Similar
outside of your own
athleticism.
Yeah.
Again, it's bizarre world, but it's BYU's. I'm not going to say earned it, but the guys like me and the coaches for 50, 60, 70 years have worked hard to get BYU in a place where they can compete at the highest level and get those types of players. So it's really cool. I think Coach Young is certainly unique character and brings talent and skills and visibility and ability to get these types of players in there. And then the whole system, BYU's really invested in this, the NIL, the facilities that can attract the very top level talent. And so whereas there was a time where it was unheard of, now it's reasonable that BYU would be in the conversation, at least for some of these really good players. And credit a guy like AJ for recognizing the opportunity he has at BYU, and if he can succeed, which I'm sure he will, it's going to open up the door for more guys like him in the future.
AJ and Richie are really the headliners. We were talking to Hubert Davis before the game to get ready to call the game, and North Carolina's head coach, and he talked about AJ, and then he said, and Richie Saunders, yeah, absolute NBA guy. And remember, Hubert spent a lot of years playing in the NBA, and he said, no, that guy's a bona fide NBA guy, the way he can shoot and defend and rebound and all that. So those two are going to get a lot of attention, both preseason, all Big 12. Who do you think the third and fourth and maybe even fifth guys that are maybe not surprise people but that are going to be equally yoked with carrying this team?
Well, first of all, the best thing that ever happened to AJ is Richie. And the best thing that ever happened to Richie was AJ, because Richie coming back takes so much pressure off of AJ to win games and be the guy. And he will still win games and be the guy. But when you have a guy like Richie coming back, he's going to take a lot of attention. Rob Wright, who would be the first person I would mention, is going to take a lot of attention. He's their other best friends, like the three amigos, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you are worried about stopping AJ and Richie on the wings, good luck stopping Rob Wright on the dribble. I mean, how lightning – he looked like Blaine in the 7th Ward pickup games. I mean, he's lightning quick.
Until I got in fights, and then I got kicked out because Kyle Whittingham was egging me on as my teammate.
I've heard about some of the fights back in the day at the Smith Fieldhouse.
Yeah, Kyle Whittingham and Craig Garrick were my teammates on that. It was not good.
But Rob Wright is as quick as I've ever seen. His ability to get off the dribble into the paint and collapse the defense is going to be invaluable to those Richie and AJ and Kebe. He needs to make, from what I've seen early, he needs to make a little bit better decisions when he gets in the paint a little bit sometimes. But so those three guys, individually on their own are really great, like All-American great. But together, good. I mean, I don't know how you stop that. And then you throw in Kebe, and I loved Kennard Davis. I thought he was terrific, and Boop is playing great. I was looking at some of the things from last year, and you almost forget about guys, right? Trevenell and Mawut Mag and Fousseyni Traore. Mm-hmm. I mean, those were really good players. But then you see some of these guys coming in, and you realize maybe we're even better with some of these guys coming in, and that's a huge compliment to these new guys. But you never know how they're going to work out. But so far, I think they've been very impressive as well.
BYU basketball radio analyst Mark Durant is on the Wise Guys, presented by BradyPlus, Eddie, and Mountain America Credit Union. Considering everything, is next Monday night's game against Villanova in Las Vegas on TNT the biggest opener in the history of BYU basketball?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have the Rebellion encyclopedic knowledge, but I can't think of anything bigger for a first game. Some of these tournaments, maybe that we've had an opportunity to play in Maui and otherwise. But I think, that first game, I mean, again, we're talking North Carolina, we're talking Villanova. And part of the whole AJ thing is everybody wants a piece of that, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see it. TV networks want to put it on TV. So you've got an opportunity to play these games that you just wouldn't have had in the past, which elevates it into maybe the best opener ever. And,
now, I asked that because Blaine and I have called about 40 BYU Prairie View A&M openers.
Yeah, we've done a lot of openers in our life.
This one's different.
I'm a fan of the Prairie View A&Ms every once in a while because I'm getting too old. Even these exhibition games are stressing me out, man. I want to win by 50.
Don't worry, we all have Abilene Christian the next game.
There's some of those, but
we have that.
Not the start one. Not the start.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, they're going to have some. They're going to go to Boston and play UConn. They're going to play Clemson at MSG, and so yeah. I mean, and I think Coach Young's did a good job of capitalizing, getting really good teams for the preseason. It was probably a weaker preseason last year than should have been, him coming in. But now he's, that's the nature of things. Let's play some really good teams and see how we fare before we get to conference. So I think it sets up perfectly. You got a nice mix of the Prairie View A&Ms and the really good teams, and we'll see how BYU performs. They're going to be thrown into it right off the bat, into the fire. We'll see how they perform.
I hope out on the chat that we don't have anybody that's a Prairie View A&M grad because we've kind of been making fun of them.
Well, yeah, but that's because they're like an FCS coming in. That's how we do it.
Kind of picked up Prairie View A&M and made it bad.
I think they're picked to finish at the top of their conference this year.
They probably are. We're making fun of them.
Ryan's on the stream from Memphis, Weston in from Nebraska, Brad's in from Leander, Texas. Good to have you guys joining us here on the show as we visit with Mark Durant, who did confirm this will be the biggest.
So question on this big game.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in this game that will give you an indication of how fast this team can come together and how good they can be?
Well, I think I've had my biggest question answered, and that was about AJ. Obviously, he was a Mr. Everything, top recruit, best ever recruit ever to come to BYU. But I still had to see for myself because it's still going from high school to college. But I saw in the exhibition games, it's not going to. It'd be a hiccup for him. He's going to dominate at this level. He's going to dominate at the next level, and so that has eased my mind on that. The other question I had for this team was just about their defense, and I thought it was very poor against Nebraska. I think that starting five defense with Wright, Davis, AJ, who's an amazing defender, if he
and long
puts his,
and all that.
I mean, he's all over the floor and creating turnovers, creating havoc. Kebe down low, guarding the rim, and Wright. I mean, that's really good defensive team. That second unit struggled. The 3-point shooting defense last year for BYU was really problematic. They did a better job against North Carolina. But what I guess in the rambling answer to your question. I want to see that second unit play a little bit better, and the team as a whole have a better defensive identity than they had last year. And I like scoring 100 points, but I don't like it when the other team scores 99. Mm-hmm. I mean, you need to be down in the 60s and 70s like North Carolina was. And I think with BYU's offensive talent, if you can find a way to play a little bit better defense, that's going to be hard to beat that team.
One thing that stood out to us, and certainly to me as we were calling the game, was here you got North Carolina and BYU on the same floor, and BYU has better players. And I just thought that was...
We talked about that at timeouts. I went, when did this ever happen?
Again, let me correct you. We played North Carolina in Charlotte when I played. It had me and Russ Larson and going against Rasheed Wallace and Montross and those. So I think we could have made a strong case that we were.
That's the last time. That's been a lot of years.
It's been a lot
of years.
So having Carolina at the Delta Center, it got us thinking about Michael Jordan and that 1984 NBA draft. And it might be the best draft ever. And there's a family connection to the Durants that we thought would bring up. So Hakeem Olajuwon goes number 1 to the Rockets, and he won some titles.
Yeah, like everybody can talk about how do you not draft Michael Jordan, but we concluded when we were talking about this that Hakeem was not a bad first pick.
Not a bad first pick
by the Rockets, right?
Sam Bowie to the Blazers.
Now that was a bad pick. That was a terrible pick.
And then Michael Jordan goes 3rd to the Bulls. Right behind him, his teammate Sam Perkins goes to the Mavericks. Then Charles Barkley goes 5th to the Sixers. John Stockton goes to the Jazz in the 16th pick. And then Indiana, with their 25th pick, takes your brother Devin. So Devin is part of the greatest NBA draft in history and one of the top 25 picks. And we thought, you know what? The family deserves a shout-out for that. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. I take a lot of credit for Devin's success. And so Devin was, as everyone knows, just an amazing player. He led the country in scoring that year. And, I can't imagine a better draft than that one. That's pretty impressive. Probably would have been better off for him if he would have been a different year, so he could kind of moved up a little bit. But, he was so good. And, this is a chance. Talk about the greatest offensive players. I think Devin, in my view, of course, he's my brother, was probably the best. Then Jimmer came along. I thought, well, that's pretty close.
Yeah. Different way to score, though, right?
Yeah, different way, certainly. And the three-point shot was a bigger deal for Jimmer. And now I only mention that because this may be, with AJ coming in, we'll see how he does. But the thing about AJ is he can score from anywhere on the floor. Yeah. By himself. He doesn't need anyone else. He can shoot the three. That little NBA off the dribble pull up 15-footer. That's NBA, and he's already great at it. And then with the Euro steps and his strength and length, he takes a couple steps and gets to the rim. And he'll shoot 5 to 10 free throws a game because he draws contact, but he has a chance to be the greatest offensive player again. I hate doing this to the kid, to put all these expectations, but he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And it helps him that he has Rob Wright at point guard.
Rob Wright is, AJ is the most important, but Rob Wright was kind of out of the blue for me. And I remember watching him last year. He was phenomenal. And I remember thinking to myself, man, imagine if we had that guy on our team. And that we do.
That we do.
So, to try and stop AJ Ritchie and Rob Wright, good luck.
5 questions from Mark Durant are presented by Strategy Square. Learn how Chantel can help your business grow at strategysquare.co. And tonight, Mark is going to reveal his top 5 teams in the Big 12. And we've heard the pundits for the last 8 months debating this over and over, and teams move ahead, move back. But tonight we thought we would get it right from the guy who knows. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think we do.
Feels like it. It feels right.
Like I don't know why he's looking like he's looking over like, who are we talking about? Mark, you're our guy. What are you talking about here?
All right. Well, I'm ready. I'm up for it.
So, okay, let's start with 5. Can you do it in reverse order? Do you have this in reverse order?
Yeah.
Okay. So your fifth best team in the Big 12. This is your preseason.
I guess this would be the most surprising of my pick. I'm going to go with Kansas.
Wow.
Just because this Darren Peterson is off the charts. I mean, he's right up there with AJ. They're going to be battling for the best player type deal. And then I just think Coach Self is too good to have another mediocre season. And I think they'll right the ship with Peterson and will be in the conversation. So I'm going to go with Kansas at 5.
Okay.
Isn't this interesting? if we would have done this for the WCC, we would have said, give us the top 5. And here's the thing, we'd be going, well, this would be the 5th place team, and they're not good at all.
Santa Clara.
Yeah, and then 4th, they're terrible, and then
Basically,
third,
you got 3 teams.
And there's going to be 3 teams, and they're going to get 2 in the NCAA tournament, and 3 on a really good year preseason for those 3 teams, but most of the time 2. And some years we were talking about 1. Now you're talking about Kansas is 5th place, which means they're probably going to be ranked and make the NCAA tournament.
That BYU beat by 40 something. I don't even remember what it was. So it's all it's all.
But the 5th place team in this league could be ranked and be in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
easily.
I mean, Kansas struggled in they were a 4 seed in the tournament, and I mean. So, these are all going to be top 4 seeds.
And I think they're 19 in the preseason AP.
Yeah. They're, and it's obviously not an outlandish pick to pick Kansas as 5th, but just because of what they've been through. But I think they're going to right the ship and will be certainly in the conversation.
Okay? Nice. Okay. How about 4?
So I just don't know enough about Arizona. I know a lot of people like them. Vasar, I thought, for playing for North Carolina.
Yeah,
I thought that hurt them. But so I'm going to go with Iowa State, just because of their history and their program. I think that's probably a solid pick at 4.
So Arizona at 4. Somebody on the street.
Iowa State at
4. I'm going to put Arizona to 6.
Oh, you got Iowa State.
Arizona's not on the list.
Okay, so one of the somebody on the stream said, I find myself wishing we had a guy like Vasar, and I'm like, yeah, who doesn't?
North Carolina doesn't.
Yeah, they got him. They got him for 2 years.
So Iowa State 4. Okay. Then who? How about for 3?
3, Texas Tech. I think with Toppin, again, this conference might have like the 3 best players in the country, maybe 4, with Toppin and his experience. And I think almost made a Final 4 last year, and with him back, I think they're number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good choice.
And 2 and 1 is going to be interesting.
Yeah. So there's no one that has ever worn bluer glasses than me, right? But
But Houston's in this league.
My philosophy has always been, if you want to be number 1, you've got to take it, and you got BYU's number. I'm going to put BYU as 2.
I agree with that.
Because Houston, you got to take it from them. If you want to be 1 for me, and you go beat Houston,
right?
Maybe they will, but for now, I think Houston earns it, deserved it. Their national championship game had a lot of guys coming back. Great defensive player. So as much as I like BYU, who I think BYU has a legitimate shot to win the national championship. I mean, you talk about BYU having better players than North Carolina. Show me a team that they don't have better players than. At least you can make an argument that BYU has better players than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so why not? So with that said, they're number 2 for me because of what I said. Houston, number 1.
Well, they're number 2 in the AP, so a lot of people agree with you that Houston is the top team in the Big 12, and then they've got BYU at number 8. And in the preseason coaches poll, BYU is number 2 in the Big 12, which surprised me a little bit. I thought they might be at 3 or 4.
Yeah, I thought they'd make Texas Tech some love because of Toppin back.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I did the same thing for a different show, a radio show, and I had BYU 2 and Houston 1, and they asked me why, and I said, because both teams have great players, and Houston has more great players that are coming back. That's the only reason I give them the edge right now. But BYU may play their way into that experience, and by the end of the season, I think BYU actually might have more pure talent than Houston does. Houston's so physical.
Houston's just so good defensively, and the coach is just Sampson is amazing. And they've earned the right to be number 1.
Yep. How about that? Those 2 teams could be in the Final 4 together. And that would be cool.
That would be cool. It's going to be some serious battles. Before we even get to the conference battles, you look at BYU, and there's Villanova, and then there's UConn back there at the TD Gardens in Boston, and then you've got Clemson in Madison Square Garden, and you've got Miami and Orlando, and Wisconsin is coming here to the Delta Center. Those are some major tests. Unlike, remember last year when Arizona State came on, I think it was New Year's Eve, and beat BYU, and it was kind of the shocker of BYU's not ready yet for conference play, even though they had a pretty soft pre-season schedule and a good record. Kevin Young went out to erase that. He wanted a tougher non-conference so that they knew what they had when Big 12 play started, which they will know after those 5 mega games, won't they?
Yeah. Well, I think they will know to a degree. As much as positive as I am about this team, and I think they can win a national championship, it's hard to get more positive about that. I've never said that in my life about a BYU team that I legitimately thought could do that. But they're going to have some bumps in the road. You got a new guy. AJ's going to have a couple down games. They're going to struggle. They're playing against great competition. I think they'll do well against all those teams. They could go undefeated. They might lose several of them. But I'm not so worried about this November, December. I want this team to kind of grow, figure it out, dominate the Big 12, and be at their best as a team for the NCAA tournament and make that deep run. So it's not going to be all roses, tiptoe through the tulips for this team. They're going to have to get better, learn each other, play hard, play better defense. But I think over the course of this season, I see this team doing great things.
6 months of it, and it starts for real on Monday.
Yeah.
It's like an NBA season.
He sounded
You're
just
already
like
tired?
Doesn't Mark sound just like when we're talking to Kevin Young? You sound just like him.
Yeah, sounds just
and he said the same thing last year. We had a game after that Arizona State game. He's like, listen, guys, I care, but I don't really care where we are right now. I care where we are in March. And he said the same thing this year.
I love Kevin Young so much. He's such a good dude, and has just done everything the right way. But I called that game the other night. We didn't even have a pregame, and I was beat. And I'm not in game shape, man.
Listen,
I'm not in game shape.
Get down to Vegas, get some rest. Don't go out to a show.
If you get sore,
just stay
come
focused.
over. You can come over and hot tub at our house. Whatever you want to do. Like, we get you ready.
Whoa, that'd be the ultimate evidence of my coolness to go to Blaine Fowler's hot tub.
So we go hot tub,
At least
and
for a night.
we go hot tub when we talk ball. That's what we do. After games, I get Gavin to come hot tub, and he tells me all the behind the scenes from football, and then we could do a basketball rehash in a hot tub.
Enjoy.
I'm not going to turn that down.
Enjoy your season with Greg as you guys plow through another one starting Monday on BYU Radio in Las Vegas against Villanova. Thank you so much for being here.
Good luck to you too as well. You do such a great job, and it's like TV, radio. Man, BYU fans are lucky.
Yeah,
we're all doing stuff. We're lucky to have you here. Thank you for being here.
And we love that you always make the effort to just get in and drive down here, which is really cool for us. We love it. Thank you.
Listen, I know you got to go, but I have this, what my dad would call a superior inferiority complex.
Yeah.
And I just don't think, I think I'm kind of a loser.
What?
And then I tell myself, I'm friends with Dave and Blaine. These guys actually like me, and they're the coolest people I know. So I must be pretty cool.
You are cool.
And now I'm going to Blaine's hot tub.
Yes,
so
you are.
Listen.
Okay, I'm going to call you about
Living
that.
the dream. Mark Durant with us here
Mark.
on the Wise Guys tonight.
Appreciate you, brother.
Our next guest is a BYU grad and president of BradyPlus, which employs thousands of people all over the country. His home base is Las Vegas, and whenever the Cougars come to his town, the founding sponsor of Wise Guys gets on this show as I'm getting a departing hug from the great Mark Durant. It's a pleasure to welcome in Travis Brady from Las Vegas. And DJ's going to hit the magical button, and Travis will appear right before us on this global live stream. Travis, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Dave. Good. Doing great. Good to see you.
Mark's hugging the whole staff, so it took us a little longer to get him out of here tonight. He's full of love. Hey, next week is the most anticipated season opener in the history of BYU basketball. Team's ranked 8th, top recruit in the country, if not the world, taking on Villanova down the street from your house at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. How big of a deal is it for Cougar fans in Southern Nevada to get this game?
Oh, can't wait. Everyone I talk to is looking forward to the game. Can't wait to be there. we haven't had, this kind of hype around basketball since like the Tarkanian era, back at UNLV. So we're excited to have some good high quality basketball here in Vegas, particularly when it includes the Cougars.
What are you most looking forward to seeing with this team? And I know you guys will be over there in the arena watching, but not just in this game, all season long. What are you looking forward to most?
Yeah, it's great to see, and you guys were talking about it here earlier. It's great to see them, have an incredible team playing high quality competition and, expected to thrive. It's one thing when you're, winning against, other teams, but to be in the Big 12, to have the schedule and the competition that we have, and to walk out with the confidence that we know we've got the best players, we've got a team that can win, and to see that this season play out, super excited. I never remember having a feeling quite like this, about BYU basketball. I mean, certainly there's the Jimmer era. There's been teams, there's been moments that have been exciting, but this feels different.
Now, these four teams, Florida and Arizona, game one on Monday night, and then BYU and Villanova. So each team will have some fans in there. But I have a feeling that Villanova might be surprised when they come out and find out just how many BYU fans will be inside there. Do you anticipate literally thousands of Cougar fans?
It is going to be a Cougar crowd without a doubt. Like I said, everyone I've talked to has tickets, is looking to get tickets. I'm sure we'll, meet some, Arizona and Florida fans on the way out and make a deal to get their tickets, perhaps. But I think we're going to have a really strong kind of home presence here at T-Mobile.
Travis Brady's on the Wise Guys, presented by his company, BradyPlus, our founding sponsor, Mountain America Credit Union and Eddie. Hey, BYU, let's talk football a little bit. They're 8-0, ranked number 10. What are you most impressed with about this football team?
Man, I think a number of things. The way they've progressed throughout the season, is exciting. We had that kind of, late change, in quarterback, going through that quarterback battle, choosing a true freshman. And you saw as they started the year out, maybe their playbook was a little limited. They were, kind of easing into the season perhaps. But, to see them continually to rise, with the quality of the competition as well, the way they've progressed for me, the way they've handled high pressure situations, big games, pivotal moments, coming down to the, fourth quarter, finishing strong, to me has been, really impressive and really encouraging. You just sort of feel like, hey, give the guys the ball, put them in the right situation, and they're going to find a way to win. So we're really excited to see, them rise, and progress throughout the season.
Travis, I'm listening to you. The first 3 or 4 things you talked about were all kind of culture things with this team. And everybody talks about, well, Kalani's created this unbelievable culture. And Kevin Young, this basketball team, kids want to come play because of this culture. A little bit about culture. You've built a large business. Whenever we read or talk about the company, BradyPlus, and we say 6,000 employees, it gives me a headache, actually, because in my other company, I have about 200, and they give me a headache. But about creating culture. What is it that Kalani and Kevin have done to create this kind of culture, and how important is that to any organization?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I can't remember who said it, if it was Mike Tyson or something. Everyone has a good plan or strategy until you get punched in the nose. And that's where kind of culture comes in. When you know who you are, when you trust the people around you, you're committed, to living up to who you are, then the pressure situations come, sometimes maybe the details of your plan or your strategy, get a little bit blurry. But that's where you just can align around this culture, and that's what helps great teams, great organizations, see themselves through at times challenging, situations. It's kind of that North Star, that despite, whatever happens around you, again, where you're going, you have something to rally around and align around. I mean, certainly, as an organization, we feel like that's something that has differentiated us over the years. At least we hope that's the case. But, looking at Kalani and Coach Young, I mean, you see that. I mean, hey, look, I'm an outsider looking in, but I just see how they, create that kind of bond amongst their players, how they support their players, how they, lead with that kind of calm confidence it has to be infectious and clearly is an exciting part, to me, as creating a great team and then sort of great people for life. I just love those kind of, ideals and that kind of character that gets built in these athletes. They will come for all of them, where they'll be looking at something after sports. And, so having this opportunity to build that character and culture in them, to me is special about BYU and these coaches.
I love when Las Vegans quote Las Vegans.
Yeah,
Travis Brady quoting Mike Tyson.
Hey, Travis, I had another quick question. It just came into my head. Do you guys have the contract with T-Mobile?
Yeah. So
I figured you did.
So you'll be. That's right. Yeah. Let's hope, for a long, extended game, I guess, at least the earlier game for people to stay in there a little bit longer. But yeah, we do.
Yeah. I don't go any place in fact, all over the country, but when I'm in Vegas, like I'm actively everywhere I go, I'm looking for your logo and I'm looking for Bird. That's our guy. That's Travis. That's and it's everywhere in Vegas. And I just thought that was taking a risk, but I'm like, I bet Travis has a contract with T-Mobile, and you do, of course.
Some companies, see themselves in the retail store window. Some companies, see themselves on the showroom floor. We're just happy to be behind the scenes in the restrooms and in the back hallways. That's where our comfort zone is.
Well, we see you guys there for sure because we're looking.
BYU will open the 2028 football season in Las Vegas against Oregon State. It'll be their third game at Allegiant Stadium. What's your favorite memory over all these years when the Cougars have come to Southern Nevada? And you go back to your childhood when they were playing UNLV out at the Silver Bowl.
No, I have very distinct memories of going out to Sam Boyd, the Silver Bowl out there and watching UNLV play the Cougars. Having grown up in Vegas, we certainly had some awareness of college basketball, with the Runnin' Rebels. But coming and watching the Cougars play UNLV, you would see what real football looked like. And I remember my dad kind of pointing out, man, watch those BYU receivers, watch how they do this. And it was instilled in me really young watching them play here locally. The type of team they were, and got excited about watching their style of football, and certainly became a fan early. And that's only grown over the years, of course.
Good times down there. BradyPlus continues to grow and expand. Let's finish with this one as the company's community involvement that you highly encourage continues. What's on your mind as we embark on Thanksgiving month just around the corner and the holidays right after that? Yeah,
and kind of what aligns for us as a company during this is we're just celebrating what we're calling our second B day or birthday, is this kind of new combined BradyPlus organization. We rebranded a couple of years ago. We brought a lot of amazing companies together to join what is now BradyPlus, and that happened the end of October 2 years ago. So we've been having these B+ celebrations throughout the company, celebrating our progress over these couple of years, highlighting key employees and team members, but also as part of this, we have a kind of community giving program. And as a company, based on our employee input, we selected 2 charities that are our company charities. One is Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, combined with the American Cancer Society, as well as Wounded Warrior Project. And so in celebrating our second birthday, we've encouraged our employees and everyone to get involved. And at this point, we had a goal of raising $50,000 to be able to, donate to these 2 charities, and we're up over 75,000 and climbing. So it is a great. You talk about culture. You talk about finding purpose in something higher than yourself, and sometimes you kind of your daily focus. And this is an example of that, which super proud of our employees and our team members, for contributing here and prioritizing it, participating in local walks for these charities, et cetera. It is a really kind of great time. And then, as you said, going into the Thanksgiving, holiday and the holidays in general, great way to kick that off.
Travis Brady, we appreciate your support of the Wise Guys and enjoy the game over at T-Mobile Arena. You don't have to get on an airplane to come watch the Cougs. They're just going to be right down the street. Give our best to Laura, and we hope to see you soon.
Sounds good. Great to see you guys.
Thanks,
Celebrate
Travis.
Another win.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Travis. I'll tell you what, it's big when BYU comes to Vegas. I was a sportscaster down there for 20 years, and when the Cougars came, it was just different. It kind of bugged some of the UNLV fans, right? Because BYU fans would fill up their stadium and drink all their hot chocolate and the Sprite. But But I thought Travis hit it spot on. BYU came down and showed UNLV what real football was. And then now UNLV's playing pretty good real football now. This
they're playing
season.
great.
6-1, I think they are 6-2. But for a while there, the standard came in and beat them up and then left, and and the rest of us were happy to see it. And of course, the Bradys have been part of all that for all those years. So great to have BradyPlus represented here on our show. Our next guest is a 6'2" freshman superstar on the BYU women's volleyball team. Not only did she lead Team USA to the silver medal at the U19 World Championships over the summer, but this fall she's in the thick of things in the Big 12, especially after upsetting 10th-ranked TCU in Fort Worth on Saturday. Our pleasure to welcome the fantastic Sulie Davis to the Wise Guys. Sulie, good evening. Hey, there you are. Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Confirm for Dave that you actually are my niece because of your Uncle Fooey, and that since he's my nephew, that you're also my niece. I keep telling everybody you're family because you're family, and that we put that together at the match that I was at, and that you are my family. I'm claiming you, and I want everybody to know this is real, right?
That's my uncle. Right there.
See? That's what I'm telling you guys.
Hey, you can claim him on your taxes too.
This is my niece right here.
Cougars are 17-4. They're 5-4 in the Big 12, ranked 17th in the new coaches poll out this afternoon. How much fun are you having in this freshman season?
Oh my gosh, I've loved it. It's been so fun. It's not that I didn't know what to expect, but I just knew that I didn't really know what to expect. I'm just living the freshman life. It's fun. I play volleyball. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm just doing what I can to help the team. Yeah.
How big of a win was that at TCU? That snapped an 18-match home win streak for them. That's had to feel great and be pretty fun.
It was crazy. Well, that's my hometown. So like half of the crowd was my family. So it was just in that fourth set, just hearing everyone go BYU, like you could just feel the energy of like BYU there. It was amazing. And then just chipping away, I think it was 13-18, and we just didn't even look at the score, but we're like, okay, we just have to go 1 point at a time, and we pulled through. So, yeah, it meant a lot, but it was great.
This is a tough volleyball league. 6 teams are in the top 25. 3 of the 4 conference losses were 5-set thrillers. What did that win over TCU show you about this team to make a run down the stretch?
I think it showed how much we love each other and how resilient we are and how much fight we have. Yeah, we're not dealing with a lot of things, but we had a couple people go down, and then it was like, okay, whose spots can we fill? And just the team came together, and we were like, nope, we play for each other. We play to win. We play because we love the sport and love each other. And I think that beating TCU was just a great, I don't know, like there's just not tears after the game, but it was like very emotional for the team just to see how we clicked so much and worked so well with each other after that game. But yeah.
BYU volleyball freshman sensation Sulie Davis on the Wise Guys, presented by BradyPlus, Mountain America Credit Union, and Eddie. So you're 6'2". I stood next to you. You're really 6'2". And what's your vertical leap? I'm watching you go attack at the net, and it blows me away. It looks like you're flying out there.
I actually don't even know my vertical right now, but we do touch like the vertical stick, and then like we see how high we can jump. The highest I've ever gotten to was 10-7, but I think it's different in a game when you're jumping, like you're going after you feel all the adrenaline and everything. So I say that for like all volleyball girls. I think that everyone's vertical goes up in the game, but I don't know my exact vertical.
You are number 6 in the Big 12 with 325 kills, including 20 against TCU and 21 a few days earlier at Baylor. So what is the art behind a kill, and how do you go about doing it?
Ooh, I think just not dealing with what you get, but how can you place the ball with what you get and how can you score? Do you have to manage that ball and just keep it in, or are you able to go get that ball and put it down? I think that's helped me a lot, and I'm of course still learning. But I think, yeah, just Alex gives me some great sets, and even if we're out of system, they set me perfectly. And when I'm in rhythm, I have range. I can hit anywhere if I just jump high and jump over the block. But I think that, yeah, just managing the situation properly kind of helps me.
When you say out of system, does that mean like the initial pass isn't where it's supposed to be, so the setter's got to set it from someplace else, and they just set you, so it's not a design play, but you still have to be successful at the net? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. So out of system is like a pass or a set from the libero or from anyone else but the setter, or the setter is taking it with her platform and she has to just get it up to you.
So what is, that's not easy. What does it take to be successful at the net on both sides, whether you're hitting or defending? What's the mindset got to be successful at the net?
Go get the ball. Like blocking, I will not say I'm the best blocker because I know I'm not, but I think it's just like, just go get the ball, go take it out of someone's hands. Even when I'm approaching, I'm like, okay, get my feet there and like just rip it if I can. And like when I'm in rhythm, it's gonna go down. So I think, um, I don't know. For me, it's just like put the ball away and try and score. We have this toolbox where there's shots that you can take. I think, well, of course, I'm still working on that, but there's tricks into that. So, yeah.
In this league, is it safe to say this will probably sound too Halloweenish, but it's kill or be killed, right? Because you're going up against so many great players where if you don't kill it, they're going to kill it right back at you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's kind of, I feel like I have a mentality of where like you do something to me, I'm gonna do it 10 times harder. So yeah, kill or be killed. That's a good way to put it.
I love that.
No one can stop me kind of thing. Yeah.
You got to have that mentality. Nobody can stop you. Now that you've had a glimpse of BYU volleyball, you're here in the program, you see it from the inside. Now look to the future. Where do you think this program can go?
Oh, I think there's so much potential. We are a very young team, with freshmen and sophomore. We do have a couple juniors and seniors, but I just think we have so much potential ahead. Um, yeah, we have the potential and we can go get it, but that's on us to prove how good we are. Yeah.
Suli Davis, the Big 12 preseason newcomer of the year on the Wise Guys, live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and wiseguys.com. Your experience with Team USA over the summer seemed to speed up the maturation process for you. How helpful was it to get you ready for what you're in now?
I am so blessed that I finally made the team and then had that going straight into college. Like they playing against Europe teams and just teams around the country, they are massive. Like people other places, they play volleyball well, they know how to score, they do what they do best, and they do it very, very well. And I think that just seeing just seeing that for me, and experiencing such high level volleyball was what I needed to come into my freshman year and just go off. I think that's where I didn't get nerves out, but I kind of knocked off a little bit of like, all right, I can do this. Swing flat five, swing high, and pass well. Yeah. So that's it. Even the coaching style, the coaches helped me so much with just like understanding that do your part, do your role, and go play volleyball. So I think that was the biggest thing that I learned. And teamwork, of course.
Well, you've already played in a lot of different places during your young career, especially with that experience. How does the Smithfield House compare? Describe the energy you feel when you play in Smithfield House.
Ooh, I love playing at this. Like, now that I've traveled to a whole bunch of places, it just makes staying home like so fun. Like, I love the fans. I love when they cheer and like there's I don't even know I say it's like the anthem, but like when it's like, you rock back and forth. Oh my gosh, and I'm on the court. I'm like, "Oh, y'all feel this? Like it's like this is our house. We got to protect it." Um I don't even know how to describe it in one word. I'd say very passionate.
Yeah.
Very, the fans are very passionate. The players are passionate. Yeah. Electric, passionate. Yeah.
Well, Sulie, we've got the freshman five here at BYU, which has made campus different than maybe any other year ever. You got Kihei Akina on the golf team. You have Jane Hedegren on the cross-country team. She ran her first race and rewrote history. You got Bear Bachmeier, who's 8-0, has got his team ranked 10th in the country. You have AJ Dabansa, who's projected to be the number one pick in the draft, and he's just getting going for the men. And then there's you. You're part of this fabulous five. How do you feel? How do you feel being part of this freshman class on campus that has got all of that going for it?
It's so exciting. Like it's so exciting. You can just see that BYU's heading forward, and it's just a great time to be at BYU. Like everyone's doing so well, and I think like if you have the chance to come to BYU, take it now or you're missing out. But yeah, like I love that I'm a part of BYU with those other freshmen too. They're great. They're leading their teams. They're doing the best they can. So yeah.
That's awesome. Great answer. Andrew is waking up in Dubai watching the Wise Guys here this morning as our show goes all over the world. So good morning. Welcome to the new day, Andrew, and glad to see you on the live stream for us. Are you ready for 5 questions? I think she's ready. Blaine, what do you think?
Yeah, I think she's ready.
5 questions are presented by strategysquare.co. Blaine's going to hit you up with 5 questions, and you just give us the answer that comes right to your mind,
Yep.
okay?
You don't even have to think about it, my niece, okay?
Oh snap. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
So here we go. They're easy ones. What's your favorite sports movie?
I'm freaking out. The Last Dance.
Last Dance. Okay. That's the
Michael
That's the
Jordan.
MJ documentary. Yeah, that's cool.
All right.
That's a good one.
Good one.
Okay. They're getting easier. What's your favorite singer or band? Performing artist.
I can never go wrong with Sammy J or Fiji. Yeah.
I don't know Fiji. I know Sammy J. What kind of music is Fiji?
Similar, very similar. It's
Okay.
like Hawaiian island reggae. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right. Sammy J or Fiji.
I got fooled in thinking Common Kings were like from the islands, but they're not. They're from California. Like what in the world? Do you listen to Common Kings ever?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah, same kind of thing. So cool. Okay, so Sammy J and Fiji. I'm gonna have to listen to some Fiji. Everybody try some Fiji this week. Okay, your favorite breakfast cereal.
Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs.
Oh, now we're talking.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. Some people come in with all this healthy crap. Dave and I don't believe in it.
Like we got one of the premier athletes on campus who likes Cocoa Puffs. That's
I
fantastic.
love that. Makes me feel like a normal human. Okay. Your favorite volleyball moment so far?
Anywhere, at any time.
Anywhere. Yep.
I think it was winning a national championship in the Open Division and Club 18s year. I think that was a moment of realizing like I can do it. Like I can do hard things. Yeah, I think that was a realization of I can go far, I can do hard things. College is going to be great.
That's a really good one.
Fantastic.
And now you're going to match that with a national championship here before you're done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
That'll be fun. Okay, your last question is your favorite thing about BYU.
The people. I love the people. They're so helpful, very Christ-like, keep it real. Yeah, just like you, Uncle.
That's right.
Hey there.
Your Uncle B. I'll always be here for you. You know that. I told you that.
Yeah.
Those are 5 great answers for 5 good questions for Suli. Hey, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll be watching you Wednesday when the Cougars host UCF, and we wish you the best down the stretch here to get into that Big 12 tournament, into the NCAA tournament, and continue this fantastic freshman year that you're having. We look forward to seeing your entire, over these next few years. It's going to be a lot of fun watching you play volleyball.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Sulie. We'll see ya.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, Sulie Davis, one of the best athletes we've ever had on this show.
That's right. Amazing. Yeah. She is a sweetheart. She's doing great things, and man, you just watch, and she's right. As I've been watching this women's volleyball team, we have so many young players that are doing so many good things. And this is a team that over the next couple of years is going to be really good. I think before she's done, they will compete for a national championship. It's really fun.
And part of that fabulous freshman 5, we'll call it, right?
Yeah, the
Michigan
freshman
had
five.
the 5-5. We got the freshman 5.
Yeah, we got the freshman 5.
And she's right there in that group, which makes BYU sports right now, as we see the reactions on the stream, is something else.
Yeah.
You just got to keep watching, and these kids are easy to cheer for.
Oh, yeah.
As we get to know them and their personalities.
In this Fab 5, and we've had, let's say, Keita came on the show with us here.
Yeah.
And what a great personality, and what a great young man he is. Bear, you and I have had a bunch of interaction with. I mean, I love Bear Bachmeier. He is just so down to earth and such a good kid with such a good heart. We know Sulie, and I met Sulie before, and like we said, I adopted her into the family, but had a chance to interact with her a couple of times.
AJ's been here.
AJ's been on the show, and AJ and his whole family are just what a great addition to the BYU family. The DiBonsa family is phenomenal.
And we're hoping to have Jane here on the show after the national championships.
I waved to Jane, but I haven't really had a chance to talk to her yet.
You got to wave because she goes by so fast.
Yeah.
There goes Jane.
when we've talked to that, the coaches, they just say she's an amazing human being. So not only are they world-class athletes, these freshman 5, but they're also world-class young people, which is really cool.
Awesome. Great stuff. Great to have Suli Davis on the Wise Guys tonight. Our campus notes are presented by BYU Pathway Worldwide. BYU Pathway makes truly affordable, fully online, spiritually based college degrees accessible to people worldwide through greatly reduced tuition, weekly peer gatherings, and English support, helping students earn sooner, increase their income, and deepen their faith. Learn more at byupathway.edu. And speaking of Jane, let's start with cross country. It's championship time this week.
That's right. And there's one team on campus that is just the favorite to win a national championship, right?
Right.
And they have been since last season. Then they add Jane to the mix. Oh, my goodness. So national rankings, next poll's out November 4th, but the women are ranked number 1 in the country, and the men are 8. BYU started out 1. They're still 1. They'll likely win the national championship, be 1. They're going to go a wire-to-wire number 1.
I think so.
That's awesome.
I think so.
Yeah, so this week is the Big 12 Championships Friday in Lawrence, Kansas. The men and the women are defending champs. Could they do a double again like last year?
I hope so. On Halloween?
That'd be really very fun.
So that is this Friday. Women's volleyball, as mentioned, 17-4, 5-4 in the Big 12, ranked 17th in the top 25. Upset number 10 TCU in Fort Worth 3-1. Lost to number 19 Baylor 3-2 that last week. The Big 12 standings, BYU's tied for 7th, but they're one game out of third place in the loss column, and BYU's one of 6 teams ranked in the top 25.
How about a
league? It's the best volleyball league in America.
Well, it's the best basketball league in America.
Yeah.
And you look at the preseason rankings for men's basketball. It's also the best volleyball league in America. 6 teams ranked?
Yeah, and your 7th place team is ranked 17th in the country.
That's something special about this league.
This week, UCF is at the Fieldhouse Wednesday at 6, and Kansas State is here Friday night, Halloween night at 6. Both available on ESPN Plus, so you can watch the Cougars.
If you want to go to a fun night in the Fieldhouse, like everybody will be dressed up and stuff,
It'll be Halloween night.
It'll be pretty fun.
Yeah.
So, soccer 8-6-3, 3-5-2 in league play. Central Florida outlasted BYU 2-1 earlier today in Orlando. They tied number 21 Colorado 2-2. Kansas beat BYU 3-1.
That was a tough week.
Yeah, the Big 12 standings. The top 8 make the Big 12 tournament, and BYU is currently in 9th place.
They need to beat Utah in their final game Thursday. I think there's like 4 or 5 teams in there, so they're right around 8-9. They've got to win and have a couple of things happen. Thursday night, 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus, to get to the Big 12 championships, which start November 3rd, Monday, in Fort Worth, Texas. You know, they just haven't had the kind of speed that they've needed in the Big 12 this year. So there's just a couple of things, and this is another young team. So Sulie talking about the youth on the volleyball squad. This is a young soccer team, and they got to go up Salt Lake. They got to beat the Utes, and a couple of things happen, and maybe they get back in the tournament next week. And then you get in the tournament, anything can happen because they're good. They've just had some tough losses in some tight games. And today they fell behind 2-0 early and battled the second half, had a few shots on goal to pull even, just couldn't do it. Sometimes you just have those years. So we wish them the best against Utah on Thursday.
Women's basketball, the season opener is Western Colorado at BYU. That's tomorrow at 7 p.m. That'll be on ESPN Plus. Lee Camard's head coaching debut tomorrow night with the women's team.
Free admission,
Yeah.
which is our favorite price.
Yep, it's free for me. If it's free, it's for me. I'll take 3.
And with Halloween coming up, they got Candy on the Concourse, a Halloween event at 5:30 to 7. So you can go to the game for free, and go to the event for free, and trick or treat and do all that stuff before it at the Marriott Center, inside where it's warm. And that's always good because it's kind of chilly today. Felt like winter today.
Go have fun.
So that'll be fun for women's basketball. You can watch Delaney Gibb and company in their only exhibition game. That's tomorrow night. Softball schedule has been released. The season opener is February 5th against Tennessee in Clearwater, Florida. The Big 12 opener is March 4th at Arizona. The home opener is March 10th against Abilene Christian at Gale Miller Field. And by the way, Rick says, from Tokyo, hoops and football, best time of the year, go Cougs.
Love it.
Get you on the stream. The Big 12 home opener is March 26th against Kansas. So, you know, that's a far way off, or so it feels, but it'll be here before you know it.
Sure will.
Yeah.
Campus notes are presented by BYU Pathway Worldwide.
On this day, October 27th, let's head down the home stretch. 1682, the city of Philadelphia was founded by William Penn today.
And isn't... the where Rocky runs up the stairs, isn't there a William Penn statue right by? I feel like there's
Probably could be. You know who else is from Philadelphia? Villanova.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and they'll be in Vegas on Monday.
Let's go. October 27th, 1830. General Boggs of Missouri issues an extermination order against members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It was Governor Boggs, right?
Yeah, Governor Boggs.
Governor
not
Boggs.
General
Sorry,
Boggs. He probably thought he was a general.
He thought he was everything, and you know what? He had a miserable life after that.
Yeah, well, you know what? You shouldn't do that to people.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
So,
Note to self.
so Governor Boggs of Missouri, yeah, this was the extermination
Hard to
order on
believe
this
that in
day.
the United States of America
that could
that
happen.
happened on this day in 1830. 1904 on this day, the first section of the New York subway opens. I think we've all been on that. Section.
You know, I've spent a lot of times on that subway system. 1973, Alabama beats Virginia Tech 77-6 and amasses 828 yards of total offense during that game.
That was a tough day for the Hokies.
Tough game.
October 27th, birthdays. 1811, Isaac Singer was born. Who's Isaac Singer? Well, you've probably heard of the Singer sewing machine.
He changed the world.
Yeah.
1858, Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th president of the United States, was born on this day.
1942, Lee Greenwood. God bless the USA. When he was at Stadium of Fire a few years ago and sang that song, it was magical.
That's right. Sure. Still, to this day, people sing that song on the 4th.
Our Wise Guys inspirational quote of the week is from Linus from It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Of course it is. And what Linus said was, there are 3 things I've learned never to discuss with people: religion, politics, and the Great Pumpkin.
From the classic, which I'm going to watch again. I've watched several times this month.
It's a good one.
I just love it. A quote from that's our first quote from the Great Pumpkin. So it's good to have Linus on the show. Thanks to Mark Durant, Sulie Davis, and Travis Brady. And Mark's going to be on the radio call Monday night in Vegas. Sully's going to be on the floor against Central Florida on Wednesday at the Smithfield House. And Travis Brady helps the Wise Guys exist and grow. And we appreciate his support.
Yep. A special thanks to the Mackies from Drummond, Montana, that dropped off the stuff at BYU TV to us on Saturday. Homemade strawberry freezer jam.
Mm-hmm.
Dave gave him a tour of the facilities down there and took some pictures. They left us with that strawberry jam, and it was wonderful, folks. We just had to say, if you need the recipe or whatever,
find the Mackies.
Yeah, find them because it was good.
And we love accepting gifts.
Yeah. Jack and Dave and I all enjoyed it. They brought a bottle for each of us, and we all enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
Next week, we'll preview Texas Tech, and we'll visit with the BYU alumni rep in the Lubbock area, getting ready to host the Cougars. BYU hasn't been to Lubbock since 1940.
Yeah, long time.
And they're coming next week, and so we'll look forward to that show next Monday night.
Yeah, and where can you find us this week? After Further Review tomorrow night is available on the BYU TV app and ESPN Plus at 5 p.m.
Show.
Yeah, we got a good show. We spent a lot of time discussing the breakdowns and all that. A lot of fun things to talk about, and a lot of strategy to break down for you on that one. So join us for that. And then Dave will be in the Deseret News with articles coming all week long.
That's how we roll. Wise Guys is presented by BradyPlus, supplies plus support. Find out more at BradyPlus.com.
And by Eddie, HR and payroll software built for small businesses. See how Eddie can serve your team at Eddie.com.
And by Mountain America Credit Union, empowering dreams for over 80 years. Find out what they can do for you at MACU.com, MACU.com.
Our Relight Athlete of the Week, presented by Redmond. The secret is in the salt. Learn what it can do for you at Redmond.com.
Keita.
Keita is our Relight Athlete of the Week.
He's going to get a gift bag from Redmond. He doesn't know it's coming, but it's coming.
It's coming.
And we appreciate that. Wise Guys is distributed by the Deseret News. We wish you all a very happy Halloween, a safe week, a fun week, and we'll see you back here. Well, actually, we'll see you back here next Monday. You'll be on the BYU TV pregame show. Brian Logan will be in for you here. And so we'll have it all covered here and there and everywhere in between.
Yeah, you can bounce back between us. You do whatever you want. Just make sure you watch something. And it seems weird to say we won't see you till next week because we usually see you every Saturday.
I know, but don't we love bye weeks?
Bye week's going to be nice.
It's going to be awesome. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.